to Louisiana Heartbeats. I'm Cindy Landry, and I'm excited because we have a returning guest who's going to update us on what's been going on. And so I want to welcome to the show Dennis Ward, my friend, author, who's so willing to come in here and tell us what's going on, and you've got a lot going on. First of all, thank you. And since it's such a busy summer, I wanted to let Acadiana know that originally Dan had come in with his first book, which was Mademoiselle, and it's about a special lady, and I'm going to let you, Dennis, tell you, Acadiana, who this lady is. But since the last interview, lots of things have transpired since. It's all good, and you're inching your way across Louisiana. I love the way you said that. Welcome to the show, Dennis. I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's just tell Acadiana, look, there he is. About time I got a picture of you up on the screen. You'll be seeing the back and forth of two poses, and this is Gigi. Who's Gigi?
Gigi was born in Paris, and she was a French Jew. She was born only child to an upper-class family. Her father was an executive in an aircraft parts manufacturer in Paris. So she lived a pretty nice life. Penthouse. Her father went to work with a chauffeured car. And when the war broke out, because the family was Jewish, they had to flee Paris ahead of the German army. And for 4 years, they lived hidden in a garden shed in a walled house in Villeurbanne, France.
Wow.
And they almost starved to death. It's quite a story. Well, after the war, she met a Cajun soldier from Opelousas. Just by chance, she was walking her dog, and she heard French being spoken by an American in a uniform.
And she was a real French lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
Parisian. So they met, and they decided to go out dancing. She introduced her mother, who was with her, as her cousin, because she didn't want to think she needed a chaperone.
Oh boy. There's a way, there's a will, right?
So they courted in Paris and were married. And, well, the family, the father and mother, didn't really want their only child moving to another continent halfway across the world, and they objected to the marriage, and but she went ahead anyway. And in 1946 she arrived in New York City on the SS Brazil with 500 other war brides. There were so many war brides
I'm learning
that
more.
The French government chartered an ocean liner.
Wow. Were all the bows waiting on the other side?
Well, Gerald was supposed to be there waiting for her in New York, and that's how she started her life in America. He stood her up. So she and another war bride who was starting her new life in Texas, they took the train together, and they thought maybe it would take a day. It took 4 days.
4 days, wow.
To travel from New York at the time to Louisiana.
I'm going to ask you again to share with those who may have missed the first interview, why has Gigi impressed you and put a special place in your heart for her?
I was privileged to know Gigi as a really good friend. The last 7 years of her life, she lived to be almost 80. And she died in 2008 of cancer. But she was very special. She had a spirit that was very unique.
You captured that in the first publication of the book, for sure.
Very lively, very humorous side, kind of a mischievous, conniving.
I can relate to her in so many ways. Very interested, always happy, always encouraging, making a difference, reaching out to anyone who needed comfort. That's what I got out of your first book. And then we keep saying the first book of Acadiana because he is updated for different reasons, which you'll discuss that in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, but I want you to continue because a lot of people may have missed that. Of course, I replayed it, so hopefully they didn't. But Gigi had a purpose and she had a plan, and she lived out her life the way that she wanted. I'm very happy about people who stick to what they believe, you know?
I think her theme song would be "Ne je regrette rien."
All right, you're pulling that French on me. What's that mean?
I regret nothing in my life.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I have
That
no
would be perfect.
regrets.
No regrets.
You
She
know,
didn't.
the good and the bad, it's all the same.
That's the right way to live. There really is. I personally am not just saying that. I truly believe that you just make the day the best that you can, because it's true, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I love someone who, what is it said one time? Somebody, whoever that was, stop looking in the rear view mirror. That's the past. Just looking at big focus. That's much brighter future, you know. And that's brought me through. But every time, well, as you know, I have misplaced my book, but I will find it. But Gigi really inspired a whole lot of me on some of the things that I'm involved in that some other people wouldn't even touch. But you don't care. If you have a passion, which you do, and you have visions and you have dreams, you know, and you've got that drive, which she did and you do, then there's more to come. So I wanted Katie Anna to know that why the change in, well, okay, we got 2 books. This is the sequel. The first one was?
Mademoiselle Gigi, which in French means an unmarried girl.
Which is one of the pictures you'll see back and forth.
It was her life during her teen years, surviving the war.
Okay.
And at the end, it tips into the United States on that ocean liner. So that begins this book, Madame Gigi, which in French is a married lady.
Okay.
She was the youngest war bride on that ship at 17.
Wow, we need to do a story just on that.
It
Wow.
was. It's quite
It says
interesting.
I've heard war brides, but I didn't realize, if you had that in your first book, I missed it. I need to go back and read it again.
When she came to Opelousas, where her husband lived, they had a fete, a party on the town square with a band, and a famous sheriff, Cat Doucet, he met her and gave her, and the mayor at the time, gave her a bouquet of camellias.
Oh, wow, big time, yeah. Hey, that's the Cajun all the way. Yeah,
She was impressed with Louisiana. She liked the friendliness of the people, and she liked that everybody spoke French. But her husband in Paris told her that he lived in a grand house on a lake, which turned out to be a humble fish
Yeah, I
camp,
remember that, yeah.
and that he owned his own construction business, which turned out to be just kind of doing odd jobs.
Well, his description and what she expected turned out to totally.
Yeah.
But she married several times, didn't she?
She married twice. She had 5 sons.
That's what I thought, yes.
And by the 1960s, she became owner of a club in downtown Lafayette.
Yeah, let's talk about that club.
Called Chez Giselle. And it was primarily for gay people, but I think she welcomed
Yes, that's what I understood. Everyone.
African Americans, Hispanics, everybody.
Anybody who needed a place to go to feel welcome, she opened that door.
Yeah.
Which says volumes, which a lot of that's needed all the
The club
time.
was so popular that the fire marshal threatened to close her down.
That's true.
So she got a larger club that accommodated 500 people across from the Mall of Acadiana on the Abbeville Highway.
Wow, I'm familiar with that, yeah.
That building has since been torn down, but that was where she expanded the shows, and she had that location for several years.
She had a spirit in her. She didn't let anything stop her. She just moved on. And it got bigger and better each time. You know, as you're saying that, I now know why that name was so familiar, but I didn't have anything in print to read about it. It was Giselle. I couldn't say the French and better not try again because I'll end up messing it up. But with the new publication, the second publication, you've had different people come forward and kind of partner up with you. Let's give them a little due.
Well, the first book I self-published, and I was at the Louisiana Book Festival, and University of Louisiana Press approached me there.
That's good.
And asked for a meeting, and I was happy to meet with them. And they have a new fiction imprint called Sans Souci Books.
Okay.
And since they're a university press, they were willing to take the self-published version and make a new edition, which I added another chapter, and it has a higher level of editing. And then we came out with this sequel, Madame Gigi.
You know, Dennis, I mean, for being the president of the Writers Guild, my goal is always to push through any doors that may be open for other people to represent their works. And let me tell you what, from 10 years ago, actually, 8 years ago, I've had the hardest time just getting locals to accept locals. Boy, it's kind of like go out of state, go out of, out of town, you can do all kinds of stuff. But to actually get our local in Lafayette behind us, supporting everything we're doing, that's just must be the season. All of a sudden, since last year, it's like all of a sudden we're being invited to places we never, hidden rooms. We weren't able to have the big events. Now we're out in the public, we're out on the grounds.
It takes time.
We're getting called.
The quality of
You said it earlier,
books
inching our
and
way
theater.
across. Yeah.
Yeah, the quality of literature and stage performance has improved.
Let's talk about the
tremendously.
stage performance, because you're not only an author, you are a playwright, and you have a lot of local things that are actually being produced because you wrote, and you're also producing them, right? Or do you have someone else with you?
Cité des Arts Theater produces my work for me, which is a great blessing.
Really would love to have someone come in here and talk about just them.
Yeah.
So they'll let us know what they're doing. If you can do that another time, that'd be wonderful.
I would
If
be
not,
happy
get
to.
somebody in
I
here
would
needs
be
to talk
happy.
about them. Because unless you know where they are,
Yeah.
you don't know how to get to them.
Cité des Arts is in downtown Lafayette, 109 Vine Street. But that theater produces more work.
The
Both.
talent it welcomes out there.
It has a lot of new companies. The productions are almost the plays are almost back to back, day to day. One closes, the theaters.
I am
clean
sincerely
down and-
serious when I say we need to come back and do a show just on that, because that needs more exposure. This is why OC is here, because I find out a day late, dollar short stuff that's going on that if I knew a schedule, if I knew information, then I can use it to help others. If I can't make it, I'll get somebody else to go. Would you be willing to come back and talk
Oh,
about just
sure.
what's going on over there?
Sure.
It'd be just a show on that.
Absolutely.
I mean, basically, you're part of it, so you not only create, they're also producing.
What I was fortunate, I wrote a new play this year in January. I turned off the TV, my cell phone, and I hunkered down for 10 hours a day and wrote a play in the month of January. And it was called Finding Nelson Mandela.
That's it.
And this play was special to me. It's been in my head for decades. I was living in Atlanta, and I came home one day from work, and Nelson Mandela was at the Georgia Tech Stadium speaking. So I joined the throngs and of people who saw him speak, and it imprinted on my brain for so many years that I had to write about it. So we did this play, and what is unique about a theater that does original work is they have to do a thing called dramaturge. They take the plays and they get a group of actors together, and we have a reading. And this helps me tremendously. I hear the voice of these characters come to life, and I can get criticism from these actors and do rewrites. So we do 3 levels of that.
That sounds like fun.
It is.
It's a blessing to you. It's informative, and they're networking together. Yay! Or reading, drama.
It's been fantastic.
Critique group, live critique. Is it performing critique group?
Yeah.
Yay! That sounds good.
And this play was directed by Charlie Helfand. She's from this area, but she was in New York and New Jersey for quite a few years, attended Rutgers, has almost a master's degree in directing.
See the talent that's over there that nobody knows is out there? We need to tell them about it.
She had a vision for this play. She was really on board for it, so I was very lucky.
Sounds like things are falling into place finally to promote your connecting with UL and all of that and the talent that's out there. I've been there when we had done a book fair when Baton Rouge couldn't do the book fair, Louisiana Book Festival, and they were in a bind, and we took it upon ourselves and to take the arts, it's hard for me to say that word, they opened up the doors for us to be able to have that book sell.
That's great.
For Baton Rouge. And lots of people came, but unfortunately, it's so small of an area. It's like God, please, give them a bigger area, but they do lots of stuff.
They do a lot.
And people who really want to get involved with this and what they do, they need to know more about it.
One thing that people tell me over and over is they like the smaller theater at City because you sit right there almost on the stage and you almost feel like you're in the living room of the stage.
Times are changing, and it's about time to slow the world down and get back to the things like that real connection. No, what is it, all this technical stuff, flash and splash and dancing on television, a real story. And I had gone to what they call a dinner club one time, where they act and they serve and they act. And I thought, wow. And then I went to a play for the first time in years, totally fell in love with it. But then I became a grandmother, great-grandmother, and all of a sudden, but now I am free. That's why I say I really want to get involved. I want to be able to have you come back, definitely share everything that's going on. That's another area that people need to know about what's happening right here, literally in our backyard.
Lafayette is very lucky to have this theater, Cité des Arts, because they have a vision of supporting people who, not only for the theater, but they have dance classes.
Yes, I know.
They have acting classes, improv. I took an acting class and was on stage acting for the first time with quite a long part in June.
Well, and do they have schedules and things that they send out?
If you
want it,
you can get on their mailing list.
It's on a webpage, their website. I know that. I need to check that out.
CityDesart.org.
If I check out that, then I'll probably get all the information I would be interested in. Well, we're definitely going to book you to come back on the show now. Back to your 2 books. In the first time that you published the first book, what year was that?
It was 2013.
Okay.
So 4 years later, these 2 editions have come out. And already what is exciting is I got an email from a lady in Atlanta who read the book, and she said I couldn't put it down.
That's when someone's going to give you, I have to look up there and just lights in my eyes. Sorry about that. 5 minutes. Come on, let's talk a lot in 5 minutes. When someone's going to reach out and tell you they cannot put the book down, that is the ultimate compliment. I know that happened to me one time before, and I can tell you, it was like, wow, they got the message. They got what I had there,
This book is a woman's story. It's an immigrant story, and it's also partially an LGBT story.
Okay, well, it's about all what needs to be discussed. You were saying here it'll carry you through different emotions. And that's why I'm anxious to read this book, because you've added some things in there that were not in the first book, so it's just got to be better. That's what it's all about. I love true stories. I believe in the true story. Life is true. No matter what kind of life. Different people go through different things and they hurt in different ways. And just by sharing our stories, we can help other people. We don't have to agree with each other, you know, and take out, you know, issues that just get in the way of being good. And I don't know, I have a problem with people judgmental, you know. And so
you know, surviving.
I know. I hate to say this. I'm gonna say it. She and I a lot alike. I can see that she and I could have been best friends, really.
She had that ability to make anyone she met feel like they were her best friend.
Well, they were. Because she loved from the heart. She cared from the heart. There's just
she could have taken a different road,
sure.
I guess.
Well, look at the class she come from all the way to that humble abode, you know?
Yeah.
Talking about Gigi, okay. Okay, she was just a wonderful person. We know about all that and how she's opened up the doors for the different people that needed a haven to go to. Was she herself in any way, what kind of profession other than that? Did she ever work in a particular field, or did she ever write anything, or did she do memoirs?
Well, you know, she was trained as an artist in France.
No, I forgot about that.
During the war at l'Académie des Beaux-Arts, which is a very prestigious art school. And in this book, you will read that she did murals, she did portraits.
See, that's the part that's going to be interesting.
Dickie Bro bought a painting that she did of the praying hands, and it's a peasant's hands in prayer. And
I can see that. I can visualize that.
That painting
says volumes, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's stunning.
Just the whole. You can see the emotions in those hands. I can visualize that. I was going to bring up something too. In this adventure of, I can see eventually inching across Louisiana and the world, like you said, I could see this becoming a movie. We need to just keep on telling people more about what's going on.
I think it's going to happen. I mean, maybe not even in my lifetime. I hope so.
Well, I hope so. I sure would like to see people get their due while they're alive, but hey, somebody's got to do it even if we're not here, huh?
It's such an incredible story.
It really is, and I'm not just saying that, but Katie Ann, I really have read this book, the first book, and it really touched me in so many ways, and it's also educational, so informative. I mean, now I learned I forgot something, or the War Bride thing, I want to go back and read again, all of that. But you are locally living here in Lafayette at this time, right?
I live in Opelousas.
Opelousas. Well, let's give Opelousas a good do out there. I want to be sure that people know that you are a local and that you're involved in a lot of local things going on, and that hopefully we're going to be able to share more about you being involved in the Cité des Arts event. That can open so many doors, just letting people know where it's at, what is going on. Meanwhile, they'll know who you are and what you're going on. So I would like to say that, you know, I want to let people know, Acadiana, that City is my name, and I'm also the president of the Writers Guild, and I also create free events where authors can come out and they can sell their books and autograph. And I just now got blessed that Dennis signed on with one of the events, and I've got 2 more to tell you about in the future. But the whole point is get out there. And if we tell you through the media airways what's going on, then you know where you can go check out these people. So if we tell you the story inside of the story, then hey, I've done my part. Dennis is doing his part. So I can see that the rolling credits are already coming down. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close out?
I would just ask the Lafayette community to support local authors, playwrights, singers. We really work hard. We have to work doubly hard to make ourselves known and get a great product out to you. And there is plenty of it here.
There is plenty.
So please support your local.
Well, I'm on the same page as Dennis, because I can tell you that not only is he a seasoned author, he's also involved, he's a playwright, but he's a local, supporting local, and that's my heart. So if you know someone, you know anybody can write, but it's the marketing. Tell somebody about Dennis. Look at this good picture on the screen. He is a local, and we'll be doing more shows in the future to give you more information regarding where you can find out.
Happy to.
Thank you so much for watching, and this has been Louisiana Heartbeats.
Thank you, Sadie.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
That was wonderful. We're not finished, you know. We're going to be doing more.